Hi, Suhail.
Yeah, hi Ratnesh. Yeah.
We'll start from the Ubuntu basic administration part, right? And
Yes,
we
yeah.
will
Good.
into the lab part. Very simple. So these things are going to, give confidence on how, work on. Mostly, I think Ubuntu server is in your environment, right?
Yes,
So
yeah.
are you also using Ubuntu client or code something, or only servers?
Servers at the moment. So
Okay.
yes, I just want to know about other tools as well, which respect to the Ubuntu, how to
Mm-hmm.
we're using Ubuntu server. And,
Mm-hmm.
what happened is a single machine, and we're
Mm-hmm.
trying to install Kubernetes on the top.
Mm-hmm.
So the Kubernetes rancher solution is the host, in Kubernetes, you know about Kubernetes. So the
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
master
yeah.
and the nodes. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, because we got one powerful server, which is
Mm-hmm.
GPU processor, as
Mm-hmm.
GPU. So I'm thinking how we can do it. Yeah. So we was looking for Kubedium to
Mm-hmm.
install. So, but again, we needed because we need a number of nodes. So I'm
How many
thinking
how many notes you have, and like how many?
we got one powerful machine with a 6 TB data, 6 TB
Mm-hmm.
SSD, and plus and it's good the machine. So yeah, 512 GB RAM. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, all I need to play within that box. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking about KVM is a good solution for that. If I do the
Yeah,
KVM,
KVM is very powerful. Yeah, for any
yeah,
Linux, Linux environment, KVM
yeah.
is the powerful tool. Yeah, powerful
If I do
hypervisor.
KVM and then
Yeah,
create a virtual machines and make one master and then rest of the nodes,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then deploy the one application to each node,
Yeah.
and
So
then I can
the
divide that machine.
application, the type of applications are the microservices or the monolithic services actually. That's a question.
It's a Docker based Docker Compose
Okay, so
file.
all the microservices are the
Microservice,
microservices, right?
yes, yeah. There's no
Okay.
monolithic application. There's one, yeah, all of them the Docker images to find. With the
So,
only is that they created in Docker Compose, and I
mhm.
Docker Compose doesn't work directly in Kubernetes. Is that true or not?
Yes, there is a lot of customization is required. You have to play with the golden image and the master images of this Docker actually.
Yeah,
So we'll show you. So this is like Ubuntu thing I'm going to cover in your session
yeah,
if you've been interested. This is a basic
sure.
thing, and this is actually required for you to understand to work on the functionality on the server side, especially
Yes,
for server because in your project server is there. And
yeah,
coming to the next one is like Docker. So Docker is you might be already aware about. So we'll
yeah,
touch upon the Docker functionality, how to create images, right, and how to do the versioning part, and how you are going to integrate your Docker Hub, right, and complete networking, volumes. So all those things. These are all basic actually administration part.
yes.
But
Sorry, Rakesh,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, I understand. I'm just trying to interrupt you, but sorry for that. But what I'm trying to say, yeah. So the basic of the Docker I knew, but
Mhm,
what I'm trying to say, I'm looking to use the tool with the Docker, like Visual Basic Code,
mhm,
understand the different commands. I know the images, how to build the images, create images, but when
mhm,
sometime the Docker, someone has given you just a Docker image, saying, okay, this is your image, you have to create, this is
mhm,
a image, you have to create a container from it, and then find the open port and other stuff. How to find those open port
mhm,
volumes and other information. I know there's some command there, like you find the info or something.
mhm.
So, but if someone is giving so how to troubleshoot the Docker images problems, how
Okay,
to
okay,
open the
got
pod
it,
and
got it.
services,
So not
and
only
then
Docker,
sorry, one more
not
thing is sorry, one more thing is the Jupyter nodes. Have you
mhm.
come across Jupyter nodes?
Jupyter Note really not used actually. I have to look into it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's another IDE unit. So a lot of
Mhm,
our programmers they use the Jupyter IDE, Jupyter
mhm,
nodes, to analyze the Docker images, and then they up from there. The developers are quite good here. So they are
mhm,
Java developer. There are some of them. They
mhm.
um, very good developer. They got pretty much good knowledge about
Yeah.
everything. So they try troubleshoot a lot of problems.
So Suhail,
Uh,
like as per troubleshooting concern, right? So troubleshooting is not like limited to only Docker. You start from the Kubernetes cluster, and
yeah,
you are going to troubleshoot your, start from your nodes, your pods, your containers, and
yeah,
in the backend your Docker designing and how you are going to deliver your microservices. So you have to do the troubleshooting at each layer. You start from your nodes, you start from your cluster, then your
Yes, yeah,
nodes,
yeah,
pods,
understand. Yeah, so
right?
that's kind of understanding I'm looking for too, Frank
Yeah,
Ratnesh.
yeah, right. So this is like in the Docker, because why I have taken few basic things, because like these are like starting point, because
Yes, yeah,
if we, yeah, those things we have to start with, and if you are comfortable with those things, we can jump on, right?
yes, yeah.
And
That's
coming to Kubernetes cluster, where it is actually,
yeah,
yeah. So
because I've done gone through this and the basic first 3 4 times nearly now. So I'm
yeah,
just
great.
wanting to put them into more
Yeah. So
practical.
yeah. So we'll make it fast track mode actually.
Yeah,
And in
yeah,
Terraform, so how you are going to manage your infrastructure by lining 3 4 lines, 10 lines code, and how do you are going to play with your infrastructure as a code. So in Terraform, that thing we are going to play around with our Kubernetes cluster.
yeah,
And somewhere we are also going to use ERM, where it is like our PowerShell scripting by ERM, and few part of Python also, but very
yeah,
little. Mostly Terraform and ARM for Azure
yeah, yeah.
perspective.
No, no
Okay,
problem. Yeah.
so this is for the
In
uh,
Terraform, we gone through the one basic. We one of our colleagues and myself, we created some Terraform script. He had a
okay.
Terraform script, and we created a cluster, Kubernetes cluster. But I just
Mm-hmm.
wanna like gain the confidence. Something
Mm-hmm.
is missing there is a confidence. Whenever we see
Mm-hmm.
the code, I get scared. So instead of getting
Uh-huh.
scared, I would like to get more confidence. Okay, yeah, this part is separate, this part is separate, and you have to
Right,
make this
right, right.
part. This thing
Uh-huh.
is required. If you don't put these things, then you will be get trouble, or the things
Mhm.
will not run properly. That kind of understanding I'm looking for.
Right. So actually, where you're going to use your your TFS code line or your Visual Studio coding, right? So
Yeah,
you will see like it is going to as a C and C++, and sometimes code is like 5 pages or 6 pages or 4 pages, right? So
yeah,
it is tough to to understand the what is the parameters, what is the output, and what are the
yeah,
input. So because we are coming from the infrastructure background, so
yeah.
that thing I can understand. And same thing we have seen in PowerShell command line also. So you can't say like PowerShell is very easy, because a lot of parameters pipeline we are going to use in
Yes,
PowerShell as well, scripting, right? So I can understand all those things. So this is I started with your Ubuntu server administration, and this is the basic, but we'll cover advanced actually. Because see, if you are already aware about the Ubuntu server administration and everything, how to connect and how to run the playbook, like as we do in Ansible, right?
yeah.
To run the playbook in Ansible, and in
With
Azure.
respect, sorry,
Mhm.
sorry, Ritesh.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
with respect to Ubuntu Admin, I had a basic understanding. I've gone through some kind of videos of series,
Mhm.
so I know
Yeah,
the
yeah.
basic commands to run ls and other stuff. But I just wanna because my background was for me Windows Server 2012 and Windows Server 10
Mhm.
or other
Yeah,
stuff.
Windows is not going to help you here. I
Yeah, I
know.
know. So where there's we know, knew where's the user profile, where's the everything, how
Yeah.
it will affect if any other user login, so
Uh-huh.
and how to restrict the files. But
Right.
with respect to Linux, I'm getting a little bit comfortable now. But
Uh-huh.
still, I need to know understand ki if developer one login, so what will
Mhm.
happen? Developer two login, so it will create a separate profile. I know
Yeah,
the
yeah.
permissions are some of them there, but
Mhm.
looking for overall structure, which files are important, like etc
Mhm.
file and the
Mhm.
permissions and the password
Right,
file.
right.
So I just
Mhm.
want to know, like in a brief descriptions, okay, these are the main configuration file in Unix. If you change this one, then you can do this changes, or it will make that kind of effect. And
So
then
Ansible, so Suhail, just in cut short,
no,
so
no, okay,
Ansible is going to help you, in those things too, because Ubuntu is like one operating system, right? There are
yes,
many, all Linux flavor going to support by Ansible only, right? So Ansible is
okay,
like powerful, and you are going to play around, and you are going to see how you are going to run your playbook, and many other the scripting project, and by using how do you are going to make your successful your CI/CD pipeline tools, right?
yeah, yeah,
By using Ansible. So Ansible is really powerful if you compare
yeah,
with other so Terraform is also is a big one, because it is comfortable with all cloud. So Ansible is like going to help you Ubuntu and also all the Linux operating system like CentOS, Debian, on all those things, even Red Hat Linux also, right?
Yeah, that's all I'm looking for, the better way to do the
Mhm.
same job. So
Yeah.
you can learn the
So
admin and then
the
investment
challenge will
into.
be here. Yeah, challenge will be here. You have hundred of tools, hundred of technologies, right? You have to integrate all those things, and you have to choose and pick and choose the
Yeah,
right product and the right tool to make your CI/CD pipeline successful. That's a
yeah,
challenge.
yeah. At the
And you,
moment, we're using Azure DevOps.
yeah.
We're using Azure DevOps as a CI/CD pipeline,
Mhm.
and then yeah, if you might heard about Travis CI,
Which one?
Travis
Which one?
TRAVIS, Travis CI.
Yeah. So that is not Microsoft one. That's the third party one, right?
A third party one, yeah, that's true, yeah.
Yeah.
So let me just put in chat Travis CI. CI is as a for CI/CD pipeline.
Okay.
So yes, so the challenge is now the company wants to use Azure DevOps, and the developer has already used Travis CI. So if we transfer that code into the here to there, from there to here, will it make any difference? Or what kind of challenges will be?
Yeah, so this Travis CI I have to check because I've never used this. See, there are 100 products, and
I know.
you start from Jira, Jira,
Yeah,
Kanban, all those dashboarding and your DevOps model. So a lot of product line are there, but yes, uh, integration is very much possible with among those product line. So not really challenging, but yes, we have to explore all those things. And
okay.
nobody, you will not find any people in the market who is like 100% knowing all the tools and is going to make your CI/CD pipeline tools successful by using all the tools. So there are a lot of product line in your DevOps process tool as well,
Yeah,
your CI/CD configuration tool, right? But you have to act as a full stack architect, right? Being an infrastructure guy also, we can. So after you started your Linux journey, right? Earlier Linux was like rocket science, right? But you
yeah,
started your learning Linux now. Oh my God, it was not that tough. It was similar to kind of Windows. You will
yes,
find that, right? So
yeah, yeah,
that's the confidence you are going to gain in your project itself. And it is like a sprint planning and short projects. You have to finish within the time. So all those things you have to consider, and you have to make your project successful as per your requirement. You're not going to do the coding, Java coding, or like all those things, but
yeah,
yes, many things required from you from the infrastructure side, and that should be pretty fast and furious, right?
yeah, yeah. That's true.
So we can take care of all those things without any issues. So especially which part you want to start first for this Azure DevOps? What will be your what will you want to start with actually?
Yes, that's a good, again, good question. So I think we should start with at the moment we got one small project which is called medical application Cockstack. So we need to deploy that from GitHub into the servers. So at the moment we got resource group. They will give us a resource group and VNet, and then we have to manage three subnets, NSG. So let's start with the architecture of the Azure portal. What are the best practices in the Azure application? Like, um, so sorry, how to design the network? What are the best practices? The one's resource group, one VNet, three subnets. I know that we can easily divide that, but we would like to do this practically and understand. And then that's the one thing. And second part is Cox Ubuntu Admin. So Ubuntu, if the user, I know the SSH communication, but later on, I'm looking for like creating user profile, giving permissions, and then managing applications, and then what are the important files and commands, and yeah, that's one thing. And then communication between two different Ubuntu machines, port opening, because these are the you might heard about ELK stack.
Yeah, yeah.
ELK stack, yeah, Kibana and ELK stacks. These people are using Elasticsearch yeah, stack at the moment. So I can give you the rough idea of the project later on. But
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
so
What you can
uh,
do?
yeah.
Give me.
Are you come across? Are you come across Elasticsearch before I forget?
Tell me.
Elasticsearch, Elastic, the Elastic cluster,
Yeah,
ELK.
Elastic clusters. Yeah, I used actually, and especially for your this Kubernetes only, Kubernetes clusters.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we would like to. I would like to know about that one as well. One node is master, the rest of them is a slave. How they
Yeah.
pass the informations, and what are the logic behind the. Yeah. So that's another one of the criteria for this project. They're saying ELK stack has to be set up, and then the data injection from the SQL database needs to be happen as well. So yeah, so I will show you the rough diagram so you will understand.
You can send
So
me some right related with your initial startup. So I will also make myself ready. Where I have to start actually.
yeah,
Okay.
so let's do. So I will just do the first things is Azure architecture and design. Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
just doing it on WhatsApp now.
Yeah.
That is
So
a
yeah, keep like start with one or two things only because it's very not very easy to remember all those things. So start with one or two things initially.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Ubuntu Admin. Let's start with this architecture design. What are the difficulties in designing so architecture like application to make them publicly open inside the network and outside as well? And that's the first thing. And the second thing is the Ubuntu admin. Yeah. And then later on we can go along.
Yeah, sure. So just you already pinged me on WhatsApp.
Yes, yeah, I did. Yes. Can you see?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we'll connect. Okay.
No worries. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks. Bye
Bye.
bye. Good night.